over. Name another bitch that's colder. I just bought a brand new Rover. I don't even drive no more, I got a chauffeur. Took off and they asking me to slow up. Getting wiser and my money getting older. And that bitch I ain't even gon' hold that. And that bitch, and I thought that it.
Alrighty, so I'm going to start off my application with moisturizer. So I'm using the Palmer's Cocoa Butter Lotion just to moisturize my face. You always want to moisturize, ladies, because if not, your makeup will look dry and patchy and ashy, and you do not want that. Now we're going to go ahead and fill in my brows. I'm going to be using a brow pencil by the company Item, and this is in the shade Deep Brunette. So right now I'm just taking the brush side and just getting my eyebrows tamed, getting the hairs going in the right direction before I start filling it in. And when I do go ahead and fill in my eyebrows, I only outline them. Like, my eyebrow hair is already thick, so I don't necessarily have to fill it in. I do outline it to give it a shape. And then whatever product I use to outline, I go ahead and brush that in at the end so it could just blend seamlessly. Right here, you do see me go ahead and go back in with that brush and just blend in the product. As you notice, I only outlined my brow, and now I'm just blending in that extra product into my brow hairs. And this is all I do for my brows before I go ahead and conceal them. Now I'm going to be going in with the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro brush in a number 7. And I'm going to be taking the Loreal-Infallible Concealer in a shade 400 to conceal my brows. I actually like using this concealer for my brows because it is a full coverage concealer. So it definitely snatches my brows. It hides like any little unwanted hairs, because right now my eyebrows is not professionally done. So I definitely need a full coverage concealer to conceal these brows. So I'm just repeating the same step on the other brow and blending that concealer down. I'm actually going to go ahead and outline the top of my brow like you saw me do for the bottom. And this is just like a little trick I always use. I've never done my brow any other way. And I'm just going to go ahead and straighten that concealer out. And I try to get as close as possible to my eyebrow hair, because this just helps you avoid like really big eyebrows. Like, I hate when I see females with really big eyebrows, but you know, whatever, that's you. I do go ahead and blend my concealer up. This just helps when you're applying your foundation. Everything is like blending into the skin. And for my eyelid, I am going ahead and blend that concealer out with my fingertips. If I'm like working with a client, of course I use a brush. But for me, I always just use my fingertips. It's easy, quick, and it gets it done. Okay, so this is the new method that I'm trying out today. This method I see a lot of makeup artists doing lately is where they add the concealer where they're going to highlight, and then they put the foundation on the bare parts of the face. So I'm trying it out today. I'm not going to lie, I'm not really a fan of it, but it did come out a little bit cute. But I'm more of a foundation first, then highlight and contour type of girl. But you know, I'm always down to try new things, so that's what we're doing today. As far as products, I'm using that same Loreal-Infallible concealer mixed with my Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and it's in the shade Golden Beige. So I'm just using those two today to highlight. For foundation, I'm going in with my NARS Natural Radiant Longwear foundation in the shade Syracuse. And I'm also going to be mixing that with the Fenty Beauty foundation, hydrated foundation in the shade 345. So I was talking on the phone, and here's where I realized that I did not put on any primer. Like, don't you know you just be gossiping, mouth going a mile a minute, honey. Like, I did not put on no primer, so now I'm trying to save myself a little bit and add primer to some parts of my face, hoping it'll save me. But child, it's a no for me. Like, I'm so pissed, but it wasn't no going back from here. Hopefully you guys see what technique I'm trying out today. It's basically me applying my foundation on all the parts of my face that I do not have concealer, and that is just like where I'm going to be highlighting. Like I said, I'm not really a big fan of this. I mean, some makeup artists do it and make it look flawless as fuck. It ain't me. Like, I just don't like the concept. Like, I like to like do a full face of foundation and then highlight and contour. But like I said, I'm trying it out, and it's a no for me. So now I'm going in and blending out my concealer with a damp Real Techniques beauty blender, and I'm just using that to just blend out all of the areas where I'm going to be highlighting. And once I'm done with that, you guys are going to see I'm just going to take my foundation brush, and I'm just going to go over the areas where I highlighted, just so everything can like blend seamlessly and it's like no harsh lines anywhere. So now it's time to contour, and I'm going to be taking a BH Cosmetics Studio Pro brush in number 9, and I'm going to be taking this Maybelline-Super Stay foundation stick. I believe that's the name. It is actually discontinued, so you're not able to purchase this anymore. But the next best thing, especially for drugstore, is I do like Black Opal foundation sticks as well. But this one is discontinued, but I'm just using this to go around my face and add contour to whatever areas I want to contour. And you guys going to see me just add this, and then I'm going to blend everything out, and we're going to be a contour goddess, honey. So now I'm going to go back in with my Born This Way concealer, and I'm just using that to brighten under my under eye just a little bit more. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend out my nose and bottom lip contour with the Versace Angle concealer brush. And that's just what I use for like the small contour areas. You can always use any type of small brush. It doesn't have to be like a concealer brush or even an angle concealer brush. Just a small brush would do when you're blending out your nose contour. And I add concealer to my bottom lip as a hack. It just makes my lip just look a little bit more bigger, fuller. I have kind of like really small lips, so that's just my hack. Now I'm going to take my Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm just going to set all the areas where I have used concealer. And I do not bake. I go ahead and like tap that powder into my skin. I try to use a very thin layer, but enough to where I'm applying coverage and I'm not going to get oily super quick. So that's what I like to do. I don't really bake as often. And you guys will see that I'm going to take that powder and I'm going to go over like my entire forehead and my entire nose. And the reason why I do that is because it kind of like calms down my contour, especially on my nose. And I like that it kind of like serves as a setting powder as well. Like it can set your entire face. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So now it's time to add my powder contour. So I'm just taking this big powder brush from H&M, and I'm using the Morphe Glamabronze palette in Megastar to set my cream contour with my powder contour. So that's how I do my contour. A lot of people just use cream. Some people just use powder. I use a combination of both. I set my cream contour with a powder contour. Now I'm going to take that same contour palette and I'm going to use it as a eyeshadow, And I use this when I'm going for that no eyeshadow look. Like, it's a super light brown, and it just gives my eyelids some depth, but it's not like a full glam like eyeshadow look. It's not like cut creases or anything like that. It's very natural, very soft. So that was the look I was going for today. So I'm just using that for eyeshadow, and I'm also going to go ahead and set my nose contour and under my lip with this eyeshadow palette, contour palette as well. So for blushes, I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution Blusher Reloaded. I'm going to be using two of those. The first one I'm going to be using is called Peach Bliss, and the second one is in the shade Rose Kiss. I'm going to be mixing these two together just to get my perfect shade that I'm going for today. So yes, those are the blushes that I'm using for this look. I actually go over my forehead, my cheekbone, my nose, and my chin with blush. I just feel like it adds like color to your face. It makes you look a little bit more live, because you know, like, once you start adding powders and concealers, you can kind of wash yourself out. So I love blush, and I love like adding it like all over my face to make me look alive, honey. So we're going to be going into this Juvia Place palette, and we're going to be taking that brown shade, and we're going to be adding it to our eyelid. And I'm using this just for a little bit more depth. Like I said, we're not doing anything too fancy today. We want to keep the eye as natural as possible. I just wanted to just darken it up, smoke it out just a little bit. But of course, I'm working with all light browns because I didn't want it to be too dramatic. And I'm also using a BH Cosmetic Studio Pro brush, I believe in a number 8, to apply this eyeshadow. Now I'm taking the NYX matte liquid liner in black to create my wing liner. Honestly, this is like the hardest thing to do on camera. I'm like really particular when it comes to my liner, and child, like, listen, it was a struggle, but I managed to get it done. I'm going in with Morphe Setting Mist to set my face. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to be taking my highlight. This is from the company Ophra Cosmetics, and this is in the shade Soho. Lately, I've been taking like a medium size blush brush, I would think, to apply my highlight. I just feel like I like it better. It gives more of an airbrush look versus a small highlighter brush. I feel like sometimes it can come out very streaky, and I'm over that. That's not cute, sis. But right now, I'm just taking the same highlight and I'm adding it to my brow bone, and I'm going to go ahead and blend it out with that light brown shade, that contour shade that we use to for an eyeshadow. We're going to blend that out like so, and I'm also going to set my brow with some brow gel. That way we can get rid of any like powder that could have just landed on there. I hate a little powdery ass brow, but yeah, we're going to set the brows and yeah, move on. So I decided that I wanted some shimmer in my inner tear duct area. So I'm just taking that same highlighter and I'm just adding it and kind of like blending it into the eyelid, which I should have done before my liner. But like I said, I decided at the last minute. So I'm just going to blend the two together just to add a little shimmer. And then I'm also going to go over my liner because it got fucked up. So now I'm prepping my lashes for application, and I actually use Ghost Bond Lace Glue for my lashes. I know y'all probably like, girl, what the fuck? But I just cannot get jiggy with hair glue. I cannot do the lash glue. It's not for me. But when I do clients, I do use lash glue. But for myself, I use lace glue. Honestly, it works way better and it's not harmful to my eyelashes at all. Like, it comes off with just a little bit of warm water, no damage whatsoever. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my lashes and move on to the lip. So I'm going to go back into that Juvia's Place palette and I'm going to take that brown shade and I'm going to add it to my lower lash line just to smoke it out a tad bit, just to add some depth, some color. And then I'm going to add a little bit of mascara just to add some volume, a little dramatics. You know, I'm a dramatic motherfucker. For my lip, I'm just taking a dark brown lip liner from my local beauty supply store, and I'm just using it to line my lips. I'm showing you guys what my lips would look like naturally lined, but I am going to go ahead and overline my top and bottom lip. Like I said, I like for my lip to look a little bit bigger. They're more on the smaller side. So, yeah. And for the gloss, I am going to be going in with NYX Butter Gloss, and I'm going to be using the shade Creme Brulee to finish off my lip look. Okay, you guys, so that's it for this super natural, super soft, beginner friendly look. It is very easy to achieve. I worked with very minimum eyeshadow. I did try that new technique. Honestly, I don't think I would ever do it again. I mean, maybe I'm just not good at it yet, but like I said, I like my old way of doing my makeup, which I'm going to actually do a video next showing you guys how I would normally do my makeup. So let me know down in the comments below like what type of look you want to see. I'm definitely down with planning my eyeshadows. I can do a cut crease, throw some color, sis, whatever you want. I got it for you. But yes, I just wanted to start off with something super friendly for beginners to do. Like I said, this is very soft, very natural. Like it's giving me breasts, but it's giving breast tea, but like she's natural. Very cute, very pretty. Oh, and I was gonna do my hair for y'all, but listen, sis, we ain't had a time. My hair was still kind of damp, and I wasn't about to blow dry it and style it, sis. But you know, always check me out on Instagram if you want to see what my hair look like done. I got pics over there. But don't forget to like and subscribe if you made it this far in the video. I'm very new to YouTube, so thumbs up as well. And all of my social media will be plugged in the description box below. And I'm also going to have all the products tagged. And if I can find links, I'm going to have links as well. But thank you guys so much for watching, and see you in my next video.